Hello students, I am Kinjal Parmar. Welcome back to the video lecture series of microprocessor and microcontroller. Today we will discuss AVR call instructions. So let's start with what is AVR call instructions. So this call instructions is basically instructions which is used to call a subroutine. Call instruction is a basically control transfer instructions which is used to call a subroutine. Subroutine is basically a group of instructions which are frequently used in our main program to execute some specific task. So the group of instructions are written separately, and then whenever there is the types of instructions needed, then we can call that subroutine in our main program to make or shorten length of our main program. That's why this subroutine word is used. Subroutine is basically a small program which is more frequently used in our main program. So whenever we want to call a subroutine, so we have a call instructions to perform a task of subroutines. This call instructions are basically called a subroutines. These subroutines are often used to perform tasks that need to be performed frequently. This makes a program more structured and save memory space. This call instructions have different types of subroutine programs stored to execute that program. So when a subroutine is called, control is transferred to that subroutine. Basically we have a main program and we have a subroutine program. So when a subroutine is called in our main program, so at that point control is on hand of main program, but whenever call instruction is used, so control of program is transferred to this subroutine and the processor saves the program counter. Whatever the content of program counter is basically saved on the stack, so that after calling that subroutine and after executing that subroutine, program counter can restore that locations and goes back to that given main programs. Okay, so the processor saves the program counter of the next instructions, that means address of next instructions on the stack, and begin to fetch the instructions from the new location. So whenever this call instruction is used, whatever the content of program counter is basically stored on a stack, and whatever the subroutine address is basically stored onto the program counter, so that next instructions is basically fetched from the subroutines. So whenever a subroutine is called, control is transferred to the subroutine, content of program counter is stored on the stack, and whenever this program counter content is stored on the stack, so whatever the address of that subroutine is stored on a program counter, so it to fetch next instructions from that subroutine. And after finishing execution of the subroutine, there is a RET, return instructions for control back to the caller. So after this subroutine, there is a compulsory instruction, that is return. So whenever this return instructions is basically executed, so this return basically at the end of the subroutine is executed, and whenever this instruction is executed, so whatever the content are stored on a stack is basically back to into the program counter, because whenever we use call instructions, so the content of program counter is stored on the stack. Okay, so when we want to again go back to the main program, so use this RET instructions. After execution of this RET instructions, whatever the content of program counter which are stored stored on the stack is basically copied back to the program counter, and then this subroutine program execution is completed, and after that there is a instructions written. So after this written instructions, this whatever the content of program counters are basically first earlier stored in the stack is again back to normal. That means it goes back into the main program whenever this RET instruction is used. So when the RET instructions at the end of the subroutine is executed, the top location of the stack is copied back to the program counter. So this is how the CPU knows where to resume when it returns from a call subroutine. So this AVR call instructions can be classified in these 4 categories. There are 4 instructions to call subroutine: call, simple call instructions, that is long call, then R call, that is relative call, I call, that means indirect call to Z, and EI call, that is extended indirect call to Z. So let's discuss all the 4 instructions one by one. So first here there is a call instructions. This call is a 4-byte, that means total 32-bit instructions. Out of this, 10 bits are used for the opcode, that is for a call, and other 22 bits are used for the address of the targeted subroutine. So call is basically a 4-byte instructions, that means 32-bit instructions, and out of this 32 bits instructions, 10 bits are used for the opcode, and the other 22 bits, remaining 22 bits are used for storing address of a targeted subroutine. So whenever the subroutines are stored, that address of that subroutines can be again stored in the 22 bits. So therefore a call can be used to call subroutine located anywhere within the 4 memory bytes, that means 4 MB address space starting from this 00000 to 3FFFF. So this subroutine can be stored on the given address range. So after storing in this given address range, we can use call instruction to execute our subroutines on that memory locations. So this is call instructions. Next is the rcall instructions. Rcall is a 2-byte instruction in contrast to call, which is 4-byte instruction. So this rcall is a 2-byte instruction, so it has only 12 bits of the 2 bytes are used for the address. So here there is a 2-byte instruction, so basically here total 16 bits. So out of 16 bits, 12 bits are used for a address and remaining bits are used for a opcodes. So rcall instructions is basically have a 2 bytes, and for this 2 bytes only 22 bits of a 2 bytes are used for address, and as only 12 bits are used for address, so the targeted address of a subroutine must be within the range of -20482 plus 2047 words of a memory relative to the address of the current program counter. This relative rcall, that means relative call, so this relative call has a reference line from the program counter. So this rcall instructions is basically used whenever there is some short of bits. Okay, so this call and rcall instructions have there is some difference in terms of bits. So whenever there is a subroutine stored from the some locations or from the some steps ahead from our main program, so this relative call instructions is used, and here in this relative call instructions program counter is used as a reference line. Then next here there is a icall instructions. Icall is again 2-byte instruction, that is 16 bit. The Z register specific the target address. So icall, that means indirect call. So in this instruction there is no need of address. With this instructions, this icall instruction use content of Z register as a target address. That means whatever the content of Z register at that locations, that subroutine is stored. So when the instruction is executed, the address of a next instruction instruction is pushed onto the stack like call and rcall, and the program counter is loaded with the content of Z register, because a Z register indicates the target address. That's why whatever the program counter contains are basically loaded with the content of Z register. So this is ICALL instructions. In this ICALL instruction, the Z register should contain the address of a function when the ICALL instruction is executed, and ICALL instructions can call the subroutines within the lowest 64K words of a program memory, as Z register is of a 16-bit wide. So total 2 raised to 16 possible values. So that's why here we have a 64K words. So out of the 64K words, we have any values of our targeted address. So using this ICALL instructions, we can call lowest 64K words of a program memory using this Z register. Then this EICALL instructions, in the AVRs with more than 64K words of a program memory, the EICALL, that is extended indirect call instruction, is used. So to extend the memory address location, so here there is an instruction, that is EICALL. So for a AVR more than 64K words, this EICALL instruction is used. This EICALL loads the Z register into the lower 16-bit of the program counter, and there is some other register known as EIND register into the upper 6-bit of a program counter. This EIND is a part of input output memory. So the content of program counter, out of that lower 16 bits are basically stored from the Z register, and higher bits, that is 6 bits, are basically copied from this register EIND register, and this EIND register is a part of input output memory. So this EICALL instructions. Now here we have a table of all AVR call instructions. First is a call instruction. So for call instruction, there is a need of address, so it is denoted with K. So this is a direct subroutine call. So whatever the content of K is directly copied into the program counter. So whenever this call is written, so whatever the address are specified over here at this address are basically copied into the program counter, and as program counter has a address of this subroutine, so whenever this program are executed, so whatever the content of program counter at that location, instructions are executed. So after call instructions, whatever the result of this subroutines are at that locations, our program counter goes and fetch the next instructions from that subroutine. Then next is the rcall instruction, that is relative subroutine call. So the relative subroutine call has a basically a reference line, that is program counter. So program counter plus 1 is basically each and every times whenever the next instruction are executed, and here after that this K values are added over here, so it works like a reference line from a program counter. So after that points ahead, there is a subroutine stored. Then ICALL, that is indirect call to Z. So in this, whatever the value of Z registers are basically directly copied into the program counter. And after this call instructions, each and every subroutine has this return instruction. So there is a return instruction at the end of a subroutine. So how this subroutine execute? So whatever the content on a stack which are stored when call instruction is executed is again back to in the program counter. So it returns to the main program. So stack value of the stack is goes in a program counter, and then there is instructions RETI, that is interrupt return. So again in that whatever the content of stack is basically copied into the program counter. So these all are the AVR call instructions. Thank you.